Hello, this is Module 8 of Session B. I'm here to discuss Topic 5. So Topic 5 is Digital Repertoire of Contention. This is Melissa Maybuan. So let's start with a question. When was the last time a hashtag changed your mind? Or more importantly, influenced a policy? We share, we repost, we sign petitions, we go live, and these are part of the digital repertoire. It is a learned pattern set of tools groups reach for when they want to make a claim. So today, we have this module objectives that is to trace where the repertoire comes from and to look at one clear example. And by doing that, we can also address the module objectives. So what is digital repertoire of contention? In 1978, Charles Tilly coined repertoire of contention. It is the established ways that groups make political claims. This is not spontaneous. So this is historically inherited and culturally bounded. The digital extension is because communication technologies shift, and so do the available tactics. So in 2016, the work of Kazri and Lucy have documented this, and it said that the internet now adds a new action model to this repertoire. So as a synthesis, the key definition is now that we have evolving set of digital tactics that groups use to make political claims, challenge power, or demand accountability. And the distinction from older repertoires is that it is low cost to enter. You can just go online and click. It has higher speed, greater geographic reach, and can be personalized framing. This is what Bennett and Sigerberg call the connective action rather than the collective action. So let's explore the different types of digital tactics. I have mentioned here 4, but there may be more advances. So first is the hashtag campaigns we are all familiar with. So this aggregate distributed voices into visible, searchable signals. So when you want to search for a coalition, maybe, you can just start your search with a hashtag. Next is e-petitions and online sign-ons. So examples would be change.org. These are low barriers to the formal expression of support. So some crowdfunding can also be a digital repertoire if it advances a political agenda. Next is viral storytelling. We know of TikToks, Reels, My Day posts. This is because there is emotional resonance is greater over just simply argument. And it mostly spreads faster than press releases. And finally, we have network mobilization. This is coordinating offline action through online platforms. An example would be the Gezi Park protest in Turkey. So they organized online and they were able to go to the streets as a result. So take note that these are modular, meaning that they can be combined, they can be remixed, and deployed without a formal organization coordinating them. So the fact that you posted a hashtag for that event already makes you a participant. So let's take a Philippine example, a recent issue, no, the West Philippine Sea issue. So in Tilly's contentious politics framework, he identifies claimant, target, and claim. So claimant, the one who is making the claim, we have Philippine state actors such as the PCG, DFA, and AFP. And of course, by extension, us, the public, the netizens. Uh, Here in this example, we also have secondary or allied claimants, which would be transnational actors and allied countries who amplify the claim in the digital arena. Next is the target, which is the object of the claim. So the primary target would be China, its government, and its coast guard, and often its maritime militia. The secondary target would be the international community or public opinion. This is the second target because it is aimed less at persuading China directly, but more about mobilizing the international pressure against it. Third is the claim, or what is being asserted or demanded. So the claim here, of course, is the recognition of Philippine sovereign rights over the West Philippine Sea per the UNCLOS and the 2016 arbitral ruling. And it seeks to give end to Chinese incursions, blocking, and water cannon incidents. So let's see about the features of the digital repertoire in this issue. Notice that the claimants is a mix of formal and non-formal actors. And it also makes it possible to make distinct claims simultaneously. So it is one of the features of the digital repertoire because it lowers the barrier for non-formal claimants to join in. In the target, notice also that there are two targets because classic repertoires usually only have one clear target. And the WPS issue claims shows claims that are aimed simultaneously at the antagonist, China, and the third-party audience, which is the global audience. Thirdly, for the claim, there could be presence or visible performed claim, which means it is what the digital act itself communicates. This could be Philippine presence, right? Victimhood or sometimes aggression framing. So each video release, however, and hashtag can assert as a different policy position. And therefore, it is performing the claim of rightful occupancy or access. Because we cannot literally go to the West Philippine Sea and have a walkout or a stand-in. We see also tensions in the use of the digital repertoire. So the West Philippine Sea case also show that it is working, right? We have had a lot of engagement if this is the issue. However, there are also troll farms. So the troll farms that were documented by Ong and Cabañez would be more of during the electoral campaign. So this is one way of weaponizing the digital repertoire. The tools themselves are neutral. Next is we have the weak type problem from Gladwell's work. He says this because clicking share would not be the same thing as standing in the front lines of a water cannon. This makes the point that the digital repertoires are low risk, and therefore, because it is easy to join in, it is also fragile. Next is we have the tactical freeze from Tufekci's work, Twitter, and tear gas. So in this case, he says that the movements that organize quickly online often lack internal deliberation and adaptive capacity because older and slower building organizations have this infrastructure with them. Finally, we have state co-optation from the work of Morozov in 2011, which he calls the net delusion. This is so because the state can use the same tools. It can have surveillance, it can participate in disinformation and give us counter narratives. And therefore, the repertoire is not democratizing in itself. So, because it can expand who can speak, it cannot necessarily say who gets heard. So, as a conclusion, the WPS case shows us why digital repertoires matter specifically across the three ACSM pillars. So first, in advocacy, it amplifies advocacy and it can change who can advocate. For communication, it influences how urgently the message lands. And finally, for social mobilization, how quickly a coalition can build.